Assalamu alaikum. My name is Engineer Muhammad Wasim Khan, and today my topic is about climate change and global warming. This is very important topic, as I have already uploaded one video on my channel that is based on climate change and global warming, but that is not enough. That was just an overview. We need to discuss this topic more deeply. I needed to discuss it more deeply because this is everybody must understand this issue, because this is a global issue. This is not just for the CSS or PMS aspirants. This is for everybody who are living in this world, because this is a global issue. This is a do or die situation. We need to indulge ourselves with to discuss this issue, to reduce this. Everybody needs to contribute something in reducing this issue, because this is for our survival. This is for our survival. If we don't discuss this, we cannot ignore this. We will be playing. If we ignore this, we will be playing with our lives. So that's why I have choose this topic again to discuss more deeply about climate change and global warming. So please kindly watch this video till the end, so you could understand what is climate change, what is global warming, what are these what is the threats of global warming, and what are the solution to encounter these threats. So we will discuss different type of solution in order to encounter climate change and global warming issue. So be with me. Okay, so now the big question is, the important question is, have you ever wondered what would happen to the world if global temperature rise 2 degrees? Have you? Just take 1 second and think about it. Have you ever wondered if the global temperature increases 2 degrees? No, you didn't. This is very important thing. I have wondered every day. I wonder every day, will the world be livable or not after 2 degrees Celsius increase? This is a very big question. And is world be same as it was before? Do you think likewise? Do you? Is the world would be same? The world would be survivable if after increasing 2 degrees Celsius? Is the world would be same as it was before? So these are the main questions which needed to be answered, and in this presentation hopefully we would answer these questions, that what is the impact of the global warming and the climate change, and how could we encounter it. These are the main questions. In this video we will understand what is the threat. We will discuss, I will discuss completely, and its solutions as well, so you could understand what's actually the threats and what actually the solutions are. So be with me, bear with me. Okay, in this presentation our goal of statement is to discuss threats of global warming and ways to encounter it. What are the main threats of global warming, and what are the ways to deal with the global warming, to reduce the global warming, to encounter the global warming. So we will discuss both of these literally, but our focus would be maximum on solutions, because everybody knows what are the threats of the global warming, but nobody is focusing on the solutions. So our focus would more focus would be on solutions, our ways to encounter it. So what would be happen? Now we would answer it. If the warming reaches 2 degrees Celsius, if the global warming 2 degree increase, if the global warming increase 2 degrees, more than 70% of the Earth's coastal line will see a level rise of 0.66 feet. So it will damage the major cities of the world if that much sea level rises. Major cities will be flooded. Salination of water would be occurs, and so much other phenomena and so much other impacts would be on the humans, on us, ecological system, our environment, animals. So everybody would be suffer if the global reaches 2. We don't know if the world would be survivable. It won't be survivable. We won't survive. So we need to counter these issues. Okay, global warming pollution. in the atmosphere traps as much extra heat energy as would be released by 400,000 Hiroshima class atomic bomb exploding every day, 24 hours, 360 days a year. Okay, before we proceed with the global warming pollution, we need to understand, if you don't know what is global warming, let me give a brief introduction what is global warming. As we know that the sun rays coming to the earth and they reflect back to the atmosphere. So when the sun rays come to the earth and they strike with the earth surface and after earth surface and earth things, and when they reflect back to the space, so they get traps because of the presence of carbon dioxide and other heavy gases in the atmosphere. That is called greenhouse gases, and greenhouse gases eventually results global warming. Global warming means the temperature of world is increases. So that is because of the greenhouse effect, and I have discussed that what is greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect, when the sun rays traps in the atmosphere because of the carbon dioxide or other such toxic gases in the atmosphere. Okay, so global warming pollution. Global warming, that is global warming pollution. Global pollution is very serious issue, and this is so much heat energy would be released. This is a lot of heat energy would be released in the because of this pollution. We could compare this with the Hiroshima class atomic bomb. If the 400,000 Hiroshima class atomic bombs explodes every day, 24 hours and 365 days of the year. So if that much amount of Hiroshima explodes and release energy, that is same as the global warming pollution. So this is a very serious issue. Everybody needs to deal with this issue. This is not something that we could ignore. We cannot ignore that. So, okay, so we are gonna die. We are going to die. If we don't encounter this issue, we are going to die. That's it. Okay? Now, do you think we can prevent it? Any solutions? Do you have any solutions to this issue? We will discuss this. But if you think that we have some solution, you could write it in comment section. I will discuss some issues, I will discuss some solutions here, but if you think that you could have other solutions as well, so you could share with us. Okay, so do you think we can prevent it? Do you? Raise your hand. Okay, nobody? Okay, I will show you. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. We can solve this issue if we become serious about it. If we do not ignore this issue, and this cannot be ignorable. This will be an ignorance. You need to discuss this issue with people. You need to enlighten people with this issue. This needed to be discussed, because this is not something that the government. This is not something that government will deal with it. No, this is something that everybody, every human being need to deal with it. Every human being can contribute something in reducing this issue. So this is a global issue. This is everybody issue. This is not some country's issue. This is not some government issue. This is our issue. This is our issue. So we need to discuss this issue. We need to deal with this issue. Different techniques are coming in the next slide. So we will discuss what are the different techniques which needed to be taken care of. And if we follow these solutions, we could prevent, we could reduce the global warming. Okay. So the first one is technological innovation. Technological innovation is very, very much important solution. And if we focus on this solution, we can reduce this issue. We can reduce the global warming. The first solution in technological innovation would be recycling plastic. As when the plastic is made, a lot of fossil fuel is using. So we need to recycle the already used plastic. So in that way, we could reduce the carbon dioxide emission, the fossil fuels emissions. So The first thing is recycling. The second one is harnessing clean energy from renewable resources. So we need to use renewable resources. We need to harness clean energy from renewable resources. We need to use solar energy. We need to such type of energy which can be renewed. Okay, so in that way we could reduce a high quantity of global warming. We could reduce very much. The third solution in technological innovation is developing electrical cars such as Tesla. So we need to produce such type of cars which are based on electricity. Electrical cars such as it has been already made by Tesla, owned by Elon Musk. They have made the electrical cars. So in that way we could reduce the carbon dioxide emission, as we already discussed, as I have already discussed, but I am telling you again that the main issue, the main constituent of the global warming is carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. So we need to reduce the carbon dioxide. So when we reduce the carbon dioxide, alternatively, eventually the global warming would be reduced. So by electrical car, its carbon dioxide emission would be less, would be more less. And the fourth thing is reforestation through seed firing drones. Reforestation. We need to reforest the forest, because we have done a lot of deforestation. So now, because the plants absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, so we need plantation, we need forestation, we need forests, so we can reduce the carbon dioxide presence in the atmosphere. And how could we reforest? We could reforest by seed firing drones. Drones would be allowed to fire the seeds in a specific area. So that's how we could reduce the carbon dioxide emission. All right, we can reduce the carbon dioxide quantity in the atmosphere. Okay, the second solution is business solution. As we know that renewable energy become biggest sector of investment nowadays, because everybody is investing in renewable resources, because global warming is increasing day by day, and we need renewable resources. We need such type of resources which does not emit carbon dioxide, which are not harmful for the atmosphere, which are not harmful for our ecological system, which are not harmful for our environment, which are not harmful for us. For business solution, we need to invest the investors, the global investor needs to invest the money in the renewable resources, in the renewable electricity, such as solar energy. Business tycoons need to invest in solar energy. So that's how we can reduce the emission of harmful gases. We can reduce the using of fossil fuels. We can reduce the emission of carbon dioxide. So these are the business solutions. The third one is very much important: sustainable urban planning. We need a sustainable urban planning in which we get based on in which we could rely upon. The first one is mixed use design. We need to use mixed design. This mixed use design and use of nature resources in construction, these are almost same thing. So we need to use some natural stuff in the construction, like plants, like heavy plants. So that's where we could use the harmful gases emission. The second thing is walkability. What is walkability? Walkability means the designing, the planning of such type of cities where the walking is easy. So if we design such type of cities, such types of urban planning, so that's how people won't be using any cars or other vehicles. People would be walking on the streets. So that's how we could use this issue. Okay, the third thing is biophilic and the sponge models. What is biophilic and sponge model? We would discuss in the coming slide. We will see the examples of biophilic and sponge cities. Okay, the other thing is not seeing, so let's reduce. Well, okay, I have changed the position of my webcam so you could see the presentation clearly. Okay, so the third thing is biophilic and sponge model, the cities. We will discuss later in the slides. We will see what is biophilic and sponge model, and the other thing is bus rapid transit network, because whenever the private owned vehicles increases with the time, so the number of emission of carbon dioxide also increases, so the quantity of carbon dioxide also increases. So that's why we need to introduce bus rapid transit, public transports, in order to reduce the private owned vehicles. So in that way we can reduce the carbon dioxide emission. All right, so what are world's response so far? Wanna know? Are you curious? What has done by the world so far? So we will see. Are you curious? We will see in the coming slide that what has been done by the world so far. Okay, this is one of the case studies, one of the examples of model biophilic city Singapore. Bio means living, philic means such type of cities in which there is plantations. So we could see in the picture, this is Singapore, and in this picture we could see that there is plantation around the buildings. So that is biophilic city. This is one of the example of Singapore. The another case study is model sponge city. What is sponge city? Sponge city is such type of city in case of the flooding, it absorbs the water from the earth's surface. So this is one of the example of sponge city. This is the Hebei city in China. Okay, the other case study is walkability. Okay, another similar issue. Let me change like web camera again. Sorry. So sorry for the inconvenience. This was one of model sponge city. Now this is another case study example, model walkable city, Amsterdam, Netherlands. This city is in Netherlands. This is the capital of the Netherlands, model walkable city. You could see that people can walk easily through the streets. So if you provide people easiness, then they won't use vehicles if they can walk through their destination. So this is one of the walkable city example. This is the model bus rapid transit network, Guangzhou, China. This is one of the case studies. So this is one of the bus rapid transit. So you could see that there is less numbers of private owned cars. So in that way, we could reduce the carbon dioxide emissions. So that's it about the climate change and the global warming. If you still have any issue regarding climate change and global warming, you could reach out through my Twitter and FB, and also you could comment in the comment section. So if you have any issue, you could ask me in the comment section. So see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.